Lending a hand in caring for the land is easy when you know about the 4 R's: reduce, reuse, rot, and recycle. By making less waste and being more mindful about what we buy, we can save or conserve important natural resources. Join me, Ranger Farah from Tahoe National Forest, and my good friend, Woodsy Owl, as we learn about the 4 R's and how we can reduce, reuse, rot, and recycle. We can all make choices to reduce our waste. When we reduce, we're making less of it. So when we make less trash, there's less that ends up in our landfills. Some easy way to reduce what resources we use at home include turning off the faucet when brushing your teeth to save water, turning off the lights when you leave a room to reduce power usage, buying grocery items with minimal packaging if possible, and being thoughtful about what you buy new. When we reduce our waste, we are using less resources. Resources are materials found in our environment like water, trees, stone, metals, and more. We need these to meet our needs. Protecting resources by using less will make sure future generations can meet their needs. Reusable items are another great way to make less waste. Let's take a closer look at the word. The prefix re means again. So when we reuse something, we're using something again and again instead of throwing it into the trash after one use. There's so many ways to reuse items in your home. Old towels or socks become cleaning rags. A jar can become a vase for some beautiful flowers. Carrying a reusable water bottle is always a good idea. Don't forget to bring your own grocery bags to the stores. Woodsy Owl and I like to bring reusable items everywhere we go. A great place to bring reusable items is your next camping trip. Wax wraps are a great alternative to foil or plastic wrap. Bring reusable plates, utensils, and napkins. If you do end up making trash, make sure you pack it out and dispose of it properly. See this beautiful, healthy soil? Would you believe that it was once full of kitchen scraps? Turning kitchen scraps into rich, healthy soil might seem like magic, but really it's just composting through rot. Composting is a way of turning plant and food waste into soil through rot. Let's find Woodsy Owl and learn his 5-star rot recipe. For Woodsy Owl's rot recipe, we need 3 special ingredients. Let's take a close look at our first ingredient. There are dead leaves, sticks, some wood chips. Everything is brown. This is our brown matter. Brown matter adds carbon to our compost and will break down slowly. Our next ingredient has green leaves, yard clippings, and fruit and vegetable peels. These are still fresh and not completely dried out. Although they are not all green, we call this green matter. This adds nitrogen to the mix and will rot quicker than our brown matter. Lastly, everything needs the stuff of life. That's right, it's water. Having the right amount of green matter, brown matter, and water is important for our compost to rot. Items like citrus peels and animal products are difficult to compost at home. Now that we're done, I can add it to my compost pile. With a little bit of time and patience, everything will break down, rot, and make great plant food. Decomposers like fungi, bacteria, and insects like worms and ants will eat our compost, break it down, and create air pockets to get things moving. But what if you don't have a spot to compost or don't have the space? Well, I collect my kitchen scraps in a pail, but instead of adding it to my compost pile, I could see if a local farm or garden will accept it. Some cities and towns even have city-wide composting. So do your research. Rot rocks. If you can't reduce, reuse, or compost something, the next best thing is recycling. You've probably heard of the word recycle all the time and you've seen this symbol. Chances are that you yourself recycle, but what does it really mean and how do we make sure that we recycle the right way? The first step to really understanding recycling is looking at the word. Re, just like in reuse, means to do again. Cycle is something that happens over and over, like a life cycle. So when we recycle, we're sending things like a bottle or paper to be broken down and made into a new bottle or piece of paper. When you're out and about, look for a recycling can or this recycling symbol. What's wrong, Woodsy? Oh no, you're right! We need to remember that we empty our recyclables and clean them properly before it goes in the bin. This is just water, so I'm just going to water a nearby plant. In some places, you need to separate the bottles from their bottle caps before you recycle. Don't put dirty recyclables into the recycling bin. Rinse out containers and remove any debris. If we don't recycle the right way, the batch becomes contaminated and ends up in the landfill. Make sure you check with your local waste management to see what can and can't be recycled near you. Typically, you can recycle paper, cardboard, aluminum and tin cans, plastic bottles and containers, and in most places, glass. Don't forget, recycling is also important when you're out on the trails. Some places have recycling bins available at trailheads, campgrounds, or visitor centers. If there isn't a place to recycle, hold on to your trash and recycle it at home. Some grocery stores have plastic bag recycling, and electronic stores offer electronic and battery recycling. Cities sometimes run electronic and hazardous waste recycling drives, so check with your city's website. Give a hoot and don't pollute. Remember to reduce, reuse, run, and recycle the Woodsy Owl way. See you next time.